Betting. Today we're going to be talking about Thursday night football player props. Let's get into it. So in this matchup we have the Baltimore Ravens on the road in Tampa to play the Buccaneers. The Ravens are 1.5 point favorites in this game. This is the first game since 2020 in which the Buccaneers have been home underdogs. Interestingly, Buccaneers, of course, coming off of back-to-back losses on the road in which they were favored by 10 plus points. First loss coming to Pittsburgh Steelers, second loss coming to the Carolina Panthers. Both games were a disgraceful showing from the Buccaneers offense. So the Bucs looking to bounce back in this one. But for this game, I think there's a couple props. It is Tuesday, so it's pretty early in the betting cycle, but I think there's a couple props that have opened up in a good spot, so we can snatch some value before those lines move. So the first line that really is piquing my interest for this game is Mike Evans. So currently the line for Mike Evans is 67.5 receiving yards. I think that this is just a absolute slam dunk freebie over, in my opinion. In the 6 games Mike Evans has played this year, he has hit this over in 4 of them. So this is already a high percentage of this hitting. But last week, Mike Evans, 15 targets, 9 catches, 96 yards, almost had a monster game of 160 plus yards and a touchdown if he doesn't have that drop. But I think that this Bucs offense, it's just been so stagnant the past few weeks that they have no other option but to throw to their best playmakers, one of them being Mike Evans. And I can't see him getting less than 10 targets in this game, and I can't see this yardage being any lower. And I think definitely before kickoff, this line will definitely be moved. It'll be probably 72 or 73. So I think Tuesday at 67.5 is a good value place to take it at. So boom, we get the Mike Evans over 67.5 yards. And then when we come to rushing, so J.K. Dobbins for the Ravens placed on IR. Gus Edwards is the main back. So his line currently is 50.5 rushing yards, pretty modest, but I like this over. So the Bucs last week against Carolina gave up over 170 rushing yards in that game. 2 weeks before that, they played Atlanta, gave up over 150 rushing yards. I don't see Gus Edwards not hitting this over. This is a pretty low number for him, I think. The Bucs have not been good against the run. Currently, they're ranked 16th in yards allowed against the run. Every running back they play has been carving them up, with the exception of Najee Harris a few weeks back. But I can see Gus Edwards getting this easy. I think that if it was close to in the mid 60s, it would still be kind of tempting. But at 50.5, I think this is a pretty good bet. All right, next one. So the 2 passing stats. So Tom Brady, 280.5 yards. I think this number is a little high. So I'm just gonna stay away from this bet in its entirety. I think you could take the over. I think that the under is more risky than the over, but I'm just gonna avoid that altogether. But the bet that is interesting is Lamar Jackson's passing at 205 yards. So Lamar this year, he has been pretty inconsistent with this number. Last week only passing for 120. But this Bucs defense has been giving up just so many conversions all season. They've been looking terrible. Maybe it's the recency bias, but they gave up 140 yards to Mitchell Trubisky in 1.5 quarters. They gave up 140 to Kenny Pickett before he left the game. Last week, P.J. Walker, XFL star, came in, went 11 for 12, looking like Tom Brady from 2010. It was ridiculous. Lamar Jackson, 205 passing yards. I think that he's going to hit this number. The Bucs defense has been absolutely pathetic in the past 2 weeks. There's potential that they might bounce back, but I think this number is so low. Lamar might have like a 220-yard game and might hit this. So I'm taking the over on this as well. So there you have it. Here's your slip. Mike Evans over 67.5 yards. Gus Edwards over 50.5 rushing yards. And Lamar Jackson over 205 passing yards. So this will be a nice 5 times winning if this hits. So yeah, that's it, guys. Have good luck betting.